G'day everyone, it's Chris here. I just wanted to answer all your questions today. I wanted to make a video and pretty much give an explanation and show you what I have done with my Fat Boy Harlem electric bike. Now, when I started this, I just bought myself a electric push bike. I didn't think anything of it other than a bit of fun, but I made a couple of videos at the start, and I can't believe the amount of questions and interest that these bikes have, right? So what I wanted to do was pretty much answer most of the main questions from comfort to accessories, to storage, right? To, storing stuff on your bike. Now, this particular bike is the Fat Boy Harlem. I like it because it's an Australian company. There are a few that have popped up now. You don't have to necessarily work off this bike. You can buy any brand you want. That's your business. But what I liked about the Fat Boy Harlem is the step-through, pretty much the step-through frame. It's solid as a rock. It's really well made. It's heavy. It's probably borderline motorcycle and push bike. But what I want to do is I want to show you that it doesn't take a lot of money to accessorize it and make it more comfortable, right? Now, one of the things I want to talk about is comfort. That's the first topic I want to get onto is, the seat. A few people have complained that they get a sore tailbone, myself included. I find that there's two ways to deal with it. One is you'll find that lose weight. If you're a big boy over 100 kilos, 120, you'll find that sitting on the seat will get to your tailbone after a while. The other thing you can do to alleviate the pain is not just use it as a motorbike, but use it more pedaling like a cycle, right? With assisted power from the electric motor. When you do that, you'll find that because your feet actually lift your body off the actual bike, it takes the pressure off your backside. Now, a lot of people have mentioned this to me, and I haven't had a chance to get to everyone individually, but the comfort side of it. Now, there is another option. I believe you can buy other seats for them that will match these bikes. But what I find is, because I ride motorcycles, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to show you is actually from my motorcycle. Now, I'm just going to turn the screen on so you can see what I'm doing. Now, a lot of the stuff that I use comes off my motorbike. Now, I don't know if you can see my lovely machine over there. A lot of the accessories, the ideas I get come from riding, motorcycles, which it stands to reason, right? So if you go on eBay or, whatever, if you go on to your Temu or AliExpress, Amazon, you can find pads like this, right? And basically they just go on with an elastic on your motorbike seat to give you a bit of extra padding. Now, there's no reason why you can't take something cheap like this, right, and pretty much whack it on your seat there. And all you have to do is run the elastics underneath, and this will give you a huge amount of comfort on your backside. So they're the three things that I do, right? I suggest, I should say. The padding, going backwards, the pad that you can get from any of these online shopping centers. Something like this. It's cheap, it's light, it's good. Works on motorbikes, works on push bikes, electric bikes, I should say. Now, I'm going to start from the front of the bike, work my way backwards, and show you what I've done to my bike that pretty much makes it a little bit easier and more enjoyable, right? All right, so let me just take the camera off the stand and just take a close-up of the front of my bike just to show you what I've done, right? The first thing that I suggest you get is a phone holder. I use the quad lock. This is for push bikes specifically. You've got a GoPro accessory built into it already, so if you want to record your rides, you can put your GoPro or action camera on there. So I don't know if they get you clearly enough, if they captures it. Now, I like the quad lock because it works with my motorcycle brackets. Now, on push bikes you usually get a drink holder, right? Now you can buy them from the actual supplier. I don't like them because they're right here in front of your knees. I don't like it there. right? I don't know if bike manufacturers actually think of it, but I don't think that's a good spot for any accessories. I think they should be off to the side. So what I did, I had an old Bunnings stubby holder, of all things. Now I know this is probably not the most the best thing to use it as an example, but this easily fits a bottle in here or a can or whatnot. So when I'm riding, it's right at arm's length, so I can just get my drink bottle, have a drink, no problem at all, right? It works really well. So apart from that, what other storage have I got at the front that's easily accessible? This little net mesh is actually off my kayak. And what actually happens, I mean, it's got mounts for the actual kayak and all the rest of it, but what I've done, I just get a couple of zip ties or cable ties, put it at the front, and you can see I've got my lock in there. I can put a phone in there, or not phone, you can put a wallet, or you can put some food if you've brought some food, a snack, and it's right at your fingertips, right? So it makes life hugely, convenient, and it makes the bike more pleasant. Now, the other thing I do while I'm actually on the front of the bike is the mirror. Now, this little mirror is just a cheapie. I got a pair of them. It's just bar end mirrors for push bikes, and you don't have to go and get the ones from the actual suppliers, the manufacturers. I know they're going to be hating me on this, but these mirrors work just the same. You can just pull out the little plastic cap, and I got this, I think, for less than $20 for two. And I think it costs you a fortune to buy it from the actual bike supplier. Now, while I'm on this video, I just wanted to show one other thing. I just wanted to mention the actual controls of the bike. Now, a lot of people have actually, messaged me about unlocking the bikes and everything else. I can't comment on that because there's legal implications, right? When you buy these these electric bikes, they are locked to 25 kilometers an hour in New South Wales. I don't know what the other states are, but the actual supplier will give you an unlock method. So when you, for example, get the bike, they'll give you that, but so long as you use it on private property. Now, the thing I like about these, let me just hold that on. I'll turn that on in a second. Now, one gentleman actually brought this bike and really enjoyed it, but he couldn't get the thing to work like a motorbike. Right, all it is this button here, and there's a little throttle here, just like a motorbike. Now, all you have to do to switch from the pedal power to a motorcycle power, I guess, to just a running straight off the engine, is to click that button and then start accelerating. You'll find that the bike will take off on its own, right? So be careful and be mindful that when you are pedaling and you're about to turn and you hit the brakes, it cuts off all the motor, right? So this is where I fell over. You'll see it on one of my videos. I crashed. I was going up a hill, and what happened was I was riding it like a motorbike, but it got a bit, excuse me, sorry about the cough, dry cough. It got a bit wobbly and I hit the brakes, and because I was leaned over, I tipped over and nearly killed myself. So that's another story anyway. Now, these are the main accessories I use up the front. So you've got your drink holder, your phone holder, a little pouch there. You can put anything there. You'll find that also Kmart have a lot of push bike accessories as well. You can actually modify them to fit the front of your bike if you want. Baskets or push bike bags. I've seen a few specials on at the moment. September, where are we? Grand final weekend down in Melbourne. What's that? The 22nd, 23rd of September. They've got bags on clearance, so you can get some at Kmart if you like. Now, throughout the bike, I've done nothing else, right? I've done nothing else. Now, I've put another rack on here, but before I go into that, I've got a few accessories here I want to talk about. Let me just get my camera gear out the way. Now, when you're riding push bikes, I don't know if your hands get tired or you know, you get a bit uncomfortable on being on these sort of these types of grips. I don't know if it bothers you, but another cheap option from Kmart is weightlifting gloves. These are really good, you know, not just for push bike riding, but for, you know, numerous stuff, even on the kayak or whatnot. These are only, I think, $10 if I remember, if that. But really comfortable, worth investing in anyway. Anyway, look, I won't go too much detail in that. Now here, I've got some motorbike bags that I get off AliExpress. These you can strap onto any part of your bike. Excuse me, you can put them on there or the front, whatever. You just zip tie them in, no problem. They're very cheap and easy to use, right? Now, this is the thing that I've had the most inquiries about. I had this top box which fits on the back of a motorcycle, right? Now, a lot of people ask me about it. They you know, sent me all these inquiries and questions, and you know, where do I get it? Look, I'm not affiliated with anyone. I wish I was. I'd probably be making a mint, but I'm not. So this particular top box is a 45-litre motorcycle top box, which I had literally on the back of my motorcycle. Now I've got a bigger one. And again, these are great. You can get small ones of these just on eBay. I think less than $100. Cheaper than what you'll get from the bike store. You may have to adapt the plate, just drill a few holes. Now, and you can mount that easily on the back of this bike. If you look at some of my previous videos, you'll see that I have this box on the back. Now, let me just, sorry, my odd angles. I've just got all the bits in there. Basically, you get a plate. And it didn't quite line up with the existing, I suppose, plate. So what I did, I actually just had to just drill out a couple of holes. I had to just, you know, ream them out a little bit just to get it to work. And it does. It just works fine, no problem at all. All right. So, but what I did, I took it off recently because I was starting to look like a courier. So I took it off. So if you're wondering why it's not on there now, but what I do have on there is just a flat rack. Again, it was a motorbike rack, which I just put a bag on if I need it. And you could say, why don't you just leave it off altogether? I'll tell you why. If you've got a bike like this, it costs $4,000 Australian, you can easily damage this side. You know, if you drop the bike, you can easily damage the gears and scrape them and all. And I've slightly scraped them when I fell. And you don't want to do any damage, right? So what happens is when you've got something wider, like a top box or a rack like this will actually take the brunt of it, right? This will actually, you know, easily absorb some of the what's the word, the accident. So this being metal, if it falls, you can see it's more likely that it's going to take, it's going to hit that before it actually hits your gearing and all the rest of your bike. So if you don't like this and you don't like the top box, you can get a cheap toolbox from your hardware store, plastic toolbox, drill the bottom out with a few washers and put it straight on the back of this, and no problem at all. And they're easy and cheap as. You're not stuck with the actual manufacturer's you know, bits and pieces, right? So I don't know if I'm answering everything correctly for a lot of you people, but these are the main questions I've had on my channel. And as I said, I didn't intend to go out there and make videos on electric bikes, but as it turns out, this is the way it's been. So the good thing about this this particular, what does it make? I don't know if you can see there, there's a little button, turn on the bike, and let's turn it on. Now I just want to show you the actual screen that you get with this this particular bike, right? Now I just want to show you, I don't know how good the camera is going to pick this up, because I couldn't work this out at the start. By default, when you use the controller to turn on the bike, what happens is you get this screen here, right? And you can see here, let's start off from, for example, it gives you all the time and gives you the amount of kilometers you've done. And here you've got the a 1. Now that 1 can go up, 2, 3, right up through to 10, right? So I'll just go back to, I use about 2 or 3, which is basically the level of input that the motor has when you're pedaling, right? Now, if people say, how long does it last? How far can you go? How long's a piece of string, you know? You know what I mean? Like, you can't answer that question. It all depends on your weight, depends on how you use the bike. It all depends on, for example, how, you know, if you're using the pedals or using it as a motorbike. Of course, if you're just going to use the battery and the battery and the actual motor, of course it's going to run out quicker. But let me tell you, I've had this on 85%. I've had this on this for a while now, and that's because when I go out, I use the pedals, right, as much as possible with assistance, and you'll find that you can get a lot more range and a lot more power. Now, these are limited to 25 kilometers. I have unlocked mine. I'm not going to say any more about that, but you know, that's between you and your conscience and wherever you ride your bike. That's nothing to do with me. So the big disclaimer, I'm not telling you what to do. But you know, these bikes come with a 1500 watt motor, which is plenty powerful. But I do find, being a heavier man, that if it's unlocked, it does. You don't have to, I mean, you don't have to speed or break the law, but it does help, you know, with the actual battery life, and it does help with the pulling me along, you know, being 125 kilos. Now, you know, it's pretty much, that's pretty much the crux of it, right? But let's have a look and see if anything changes on here. No. Now, there's also, on this side, there's a light, right? That's a nighttime running light. Now, because it's daytime, it won't, you know, you only, I don't know if you can see that, but I don't know if you can, I don't know if it changes. No, it won't turn on because it's day, and I'm not pedaling. Once you're pedaling, these lights will come on. Sorry to, you know, a bit hard to record that while it's happening, but that's pretty much it on the bike, right? Now, the battery on these things, I think they're a Samsung or whatever, but they're really good. They do last a long time. I haven't talked about the features of the bike. I've done that on other videos, but these are some of the, like I said, the questions I've been getting. Accessories, what do you do for this? What do you do for that? Again, if you need any other accessories, don't just look at push bikes or electric bikes. Look at motorcycle accessories. You'll find that a lot of the stuff you can get, phone holders, you know, camera mounts, all those sorts of things, storage, you can actually adapt to your EV bike. Now, I've probably spoken a fair bit now. I hope I haven't missed anything, but if you've got any more questions or need help with anything, look, drop us a line or drop us a message. And if you like the video, please like it, share it, subscribe it, do whatever. But thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. God bless. Okay, before I forget, I forgot to mention the way that you would transport these type of bikes. And one of the things that you know, there's not really much available is like a bike rack for these sort of things. There's not anything specific that I know, not that I'm aware of anyway. Unless you've got a trailer or a ute, you can't really put them in a station wagon. They're very heavy to lift. So you know, the way I get around that is I actually use a motorcycle carrier, a rack which fits on the back of a tow bar. So if you haven't got a tow bar, I really can't help you, but I've got a picture or a screenshot from eBay, the one that I use, and you're looking at a couple $100 just over, with you know, a wiring loom for your lights on your tow bar and your trailer. Now, I don't know of anything else apart from, you know, a trailer or, like I said, a ute, that you can move these things around. So unless you've got a different idea, please share. But that's what I use, and it works for me. If I have to go do a long trip, I put that on the back of the car, and and it seems to work okay. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the video and all the information. These are my pretty much top questions and answers that I've had on the previous videos. So hopefully that helps. If you like, share. If you like, subscribe or thumbs up, whatever you prefer. Anyway, thanks again. We'll see you on the next one.